Welcome to another episode of the And Now I Know podcast. I'm your host, 32 Flavazz, and I'm here to inspire you to live life at your fullest potential. If you're looking for a podcast that's going to inspire you to chase your dreams, motivate you to get up each and every day, and help you navigate life just a little bit better, be sure to hit that subscribe button right now if you're watching on YouTube. And if you're listening on any streaming platform, be sure to hit that follow button and don't forget to download this episode. Welcome back, you guys. As you could tell by today's title, this is my official birthday episode. I turned 30 a month ago. Don't tell nobody. I was supposed to drop this episode literally a month ago, you guys, but life be lifing. You know, I always got a story to tell as to why I didn't drop an episode, but we're here, we're back, we're better. I feel really, really good. You guys, I cannot believe I'm freaking 30. Like, I'm 30. And I feel like the world will have you thinking that 30, you are part of the auntie club, but I literally feel like the upgraded version of my 20s. I look better. I feel better. I'm more confident than ever. I ain't got to call 15 different people just to make a decision. I'm sure of myself. You know, some moments I question like, did I do the right thing? But for the most part, I trust who I am. I trust who God has brought me to be. I trust myself, you know what I'm saying? And there's no better place. I believe that when you're younger, it's harder for you to trust yourself because you really don't know, you know what I'm saying? But life lessons and just experiences will teach you like, no, trust yourself, trust your gut, use your discernment. God is within you. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, you guys, I'm back. I'm better. I feel really good. I'm excited to be walking into this new chapter of life. I believe that God is about to do some great things in my life, and I'm really excited for this new season. You know, have you ever felt like, you know what, something good is on the way? I know it's on the way because I've been doing some hard work. If you've been out here grinding, if you've been out here disciplined, you know exactly what I'm talking about. It's like, it's just a feeling that you get like great things are on the way to me. And I'm really excited. Like literally my hands are open wide, waiting to see what God has in store for me. But other than that, you guys, I have been heavy in the gym. If you follow me on social media, you know I have been a Pilates hottie, and I am working on something extremely, extremely special that I cannot wait to share with you guys. Maybe I'll tell you guys here first, so continue to listen to today's episode and my future episodes so you can hear more about what's coming up soon. I've been in the gym, I've been meal prepping. I don't want to say I've been podcasting. I dropped a couple episodes this year, but I got to get back in the lab. And so today is one of those days where I'm in the lab. I've been pouring into my community. I have been spending time with my loved ones. I've been traveling. I've been doing all the things, taking care of myself per usual. And so I feel really, really good. 30 means growth. 30 means more opportunities. Like 30 means so much to me. And I'm not one of those people that feels like I'm just so old because I'm 30. I genuinely feel more wiser, just better, more confident in a real way. You know what I'm saying? I think that in your 20s, you build your confidence based off of things that aren't sustainable. And now that I'm older and I'm more mature and I'm more wise, and just through life experiences, I realize like you got to focus on the things that are sustainable in order to go where God has called you to go. You got to focus on things that are sustainable so that way you're not relying on all of these external sources to validate you. You know, I think when you're younger, you be chasing all these outside things and you trying to find a sense of belonging, but I belong to God and myself. You know what I'm saying? And I feel great. Like literally, I don't think there's a better position that I can be in right now as far as mentally and physically, you know? And so, yeah, this episode is for not only my younger girls, but this episode is for any age woman. You know, I feel like we can all learn something from somebody, or it feels good to know that somebody else learned the same thing that you learned, and it feels good. Like you feel seen when you hear somebody talk about something that you went through. So whether you're over 30, whether you are younger than 30, this episode, you will be able to take something away. I'm going to be talking about friendship. I'm going to be talking about sisterhood. I'm going to be talking about planting seeds, good seeds, so that way you have a great future. I'm going to be talking about the importance of choosing the right partner. I'm going to be talking about the importance of heavy on the good habits. I know I said that already, but the importance of making good habits and how good habits changed my life and how I know good habits will change yours. So like I said, this episode is for all women, all young ladies. Like if you follow me on social media, you know that I have been really big on the process. I've been really big on growing into this version of myself. It wasn't easy, right? I couldn't just make constant bad decisions when it comes to the gym, when it comes to my health, when it comes to my finances, all the things. Like, I believe that I'm able to speak on this episode based off of pure experience. You know, the lessons, hardships, bad relationships, good relationships, bad friendships, you name it. And so I'm going to be talking about it all. And I hope that you share this with somebody who needs this or who will also feel this. So let's just dive right into it. The seeds that you plant in your 20s will determine the fruit that you eat in your future. Again, the seeds that you plant in your 20s will determine the fruit that you eat in your future. In other words, your foundation is everything, right? The decisions that you make when you're younger will follow you for the rest of your life, right? And thank goodness for God's grace and his favor and his mercy. But we cannot escape our bad habits. The choices that you make will live with you forever. And so it's so important to not think that, oh, I'm so invincible because I'm young. Oh, the night is so young. You know what I'm saying? I think that we get caught up in this YOLO culture. You only live once, and that might be true. But they don't give you the right to just make all these crash out decisions and make all these bad decisions. And of course, we all have to learn our own lessons. You know what I'm saying? I done crashed out before. I done dated terrible people. Okay? No shade to them. But I done made bad decisions when it comes to relationships. I done ate wrong. I done drank. I done gained 10 pounds, lost 20, gained 40. Like, I done all the things. You know, I done made bad business decisions, but I've also made great business decisions. And so I'm saying all that to say, you got to make sure you planting good seeds out here so that way when you get in your 30s, your 40s, your 50s, you got something to show for it, you know? And I just turned 30, right? So I'm not here to act like, oh, I'm so wise. I know so much, but I've learned so much. And I believe that I planted a lot of great seeds. And so great seeds essentially are great habits, good habits, right? So what are good habits? Good habits are things that are sustainable, that are going to keep you afloat, the things that make you whole, right? When you're younger, you believe that you should have all the things that everyone else has. You believe that you need external validation. You're constantly on the search for validation. You know what I'm saying? And so I'm telling you, the habits that you make when you're younger will determine the fruit that you receive in your future. And if you anything like me, I know you want good fruit, you know, and I'm going to just use myself for example. When it comes to my business, right? So some of you may know, some of you might be new here. Don't know, some of you may be new here, excuse me. But I started my lash business, Angelic Eyes Beauty Enhancements, about 6.5, 7 years ago, right? And that was one of the best decisions I could have ever made for myself, betting on myself. Now, I do come from a family of entrepreneurs, but they didn't tell me to go be a lash tech. You know what I'm saying? I took interest in that and I said, you know what, let me give me some money. Let me set myself up because I'm tired of working for other people. I want to be my own boss. I don't want to constantly be, you know, monitored when I'm at work. I want to be at peace. You know what I'm saying? And I work 10 times harder for myself than I do for someone else, but it just feels better because I'm creating my own environment. I get to choose what type of clients I want. I get to choose what my wall looks like, what pictures I put on the ceiling. You get what I'm saying? And so yeah, that was a really good habit and a really good thing that I set for myself, a great seed, I should say. I don't want to say a good thing, a great seed that I planted because now, because I decided to bet on myself, because I decided to start my own business, I'm able to fly when I want, travel when I want, do what I want. When I was younger, I was just buying what I wanted. And I'm going to talk about financial decisions and stuff later, making bad financial decisions later. But essentially, me planting the seed of being an entrepreneur set me up and set up a foundation for my 30s because now I'm transitioning into another version of myself. I'm transitioning into a new career. And with that being said, the fruit is allowing me to look into other things, right? Dive into new hobbies, because I have the freedom, right? And so the freedom didn't just come to me and didn't just fall in my lap. It came from a lot of hard work, a lot of discipline. You know, I didn't send too many hey boo text messages in my business. You know what I'm saying? No shade to nobody that be sending hey boo text, but stop sending people hey boo text, you know? But, Y'all know what I'm saying? Like, I took care of my clients. I took care of my space. I was a good steward of my business. And so that set me up for success today, and now I'm diving into a new career, and I'm going to be talking about that later. But that is an example of a good seed. Another good seed is going to the gym. Now, I've always been in and out of the gym. I've always been health conscious, but it wasn't until my late 20s where I really locked into a calorie deficit. I learned about eating high fiber and eating high protein. I learned about the importance of taking your vitamins and what vitamins I should be taking. You get what I'm saying? And that's another example of a good seed. Another example of a good seed is, finding good hobbies, right? You can't just eat, drink, smoke, and sex your life away. When you're younger, you think that you can do all those things and nothing is going to catch up to you. But I'm telling you, it will. The decisions that you make when you're younger will carry you for the rest of your life. And that is the thing that my mom always told me. But when you're young, you think you know it all, right? You think, oh, I can date who I want. He cute, I can date him. You know what I'm saying? He made me laugh. He take me out to eat, cool. I don't need to worry about his core values like that. You know what I'm saying? Like, when you're younger, you think you can just do whatever you want to do and it's not going to hurt you. But I'm here to tell you that it will. And so another thing about planting the good seeds, your innocence won't protect you from a hard life. When you're thinking, oh, I'm invincible, you will eventually walk yourself into something that you can't walk yourself out of in your 30s if you're not careful, right? So again, that's debt. That's bad health, right? You might end up making a decision with a partner that will carry you for the rest of your life. You know what I'm saying? And I'm not here to judge anyone. I'm just saying that it is very important to develop good habits. Start paying attention to things, right? Don't just be so blind and so oblivious and thinking, oh, ain't nothing gonna happen to me, because life will humble you. I've been humbled several times. You know what I'm saying? And another thing I want you to remember is that nobody is coming to save you. Nobody is responsible for you but you, right? The Lord is going to carry you. The Lord is going to see you through, but you are responsible for you. You got to get up. You got to make good decisions. You got to set yourself up for your future. You know what I'm saying? Everything you get is based off of the work that you do. Nothing worth having comes easy. You got to apply pressure. You got to have structure. I think that's another thing that young people lack is structure. You know what I'm saying? But I'm telling you, having structure, having a morning routine, a nighttime routine, having set meals, having a program. That's why athletes, they end up being successful, because when you're an athlete, you develop a routine, and a routine is having a routine is a great place to be, being able to say, you know what, I get up at 8 a.m. I go to the gym. After I go to the gym, I come home, I make breakfast. It will protect you from a lot of things, and I didn't really realize that until I grew older. I used to wake up at 10 a.m. Now, if I wake up at 10, girl, the whole day is gone. You know what I'm saying? I used to sleep in. First of all, let me wind it back. I used to go out on the weekends, you guys, and I literally would not wake up until 10 on a good day. But now I would not dare. You know how much stuff I can get done by 11 o'clock, by 12 o'clock, And so I just realized the importance of getting up early and taking care of myself and setting myself up at night so that way I can have a great day. I can have a great morning, And so that leads me to my next point. Be mindful of the things that distract you from God. When you're younger, when I tell you there's going to be so many distractions flying your way, whether it's your friends, whether it's your job, whether it's your partner, whether it's, partying, drinking, clubbing, sexing, all these different things will distract you. Social media will distract you. When you're younger, you don't have as many responsibilities, which means you have more free time. And an idle mind is a place for the enemy. I'm telling you, you being distracted will not set you up for success. You being distracted will keep you from becoming the person that God has called you to become. You literally have to eliminate the things that are going to hold you back, right? You got to be real with yourself and say, self, what are my distractions? What is keeping me from operating at my optimal potential? What are the things that are keeping me from being the best version of myself? Is it my friends? Is it my hobbies? What am I doing in my free time? Do I have hobbies? What do I want for myself? And it's important to lock in with on your relationship with God, because God is going to keep you focused. God is going to give you that discernment. When you lock in with God, he's going to fill you with the Holy Spirit, and the Holy Spirit is going to point you in the right direction. You know what I'm saying? God can't come and sit down next to me on this couch. God can't come down and sit at the edge of my bed, but he will fill me with the Holy Spirit. He will allow somebody to, deliver me a message. A message could come to me in my dreams. You know what I'm saying? But if you're not connected with God, it's like, okay, he's always going to be there, but you're going to be leading your own life and not allowing God to lead your life. And so it's so important to make sure you have a relationship with God. When I was younger, I would be on and off in church. I always knew the power of a relationship with the Lord, but it wasn't until life started lifing where I started realizing what the old people was talking about, or what, our grandparents and what older people would say about being connected with God. You gotta have a relationship with the Lord, because it's so easy to fall off. It's so easy to fall into bad habits. It's so easy to fall into sin. You know what I'm saying? And so I'm going to encourage you, if you're listening to this, whether you're older or younger, or if you're 30, you're right where I'm at, lock in with the Lord, because I promise you, me locking in with God allowed me to become this version of myself. You know what I'm saying? It's not easy. A lot of people don't have the blueprint. A lot of people don't have somebody that has went ahead of them in their family to show them the way. Some people are literally figuring out the way on their own, And so I'm telling you, God will give you your purpose. God will give you a purpose. God will guide you. And so when you lock in with the Lord, when you create an atmosphere for him, and that could be something as small as putting on a gospel playlist, or putting on a sermon or something on YouTube. You got to get you a good word in. You know what I'm saying? It's so much negativity going on in the world. It's so many, it's way more negative on the internet than it is positive, right? Now, depending on how you flood your algorithm, it don't even matter. I feel like I have a great algorithm and I still come across negativity. You know what I'm saying? And so when you're younger, you just have to be mindful of the things that will pull you away from God. And that could be your partner. That could be your friends. You know what I'm saying? And it's so important to watch the company that you keep, because the company that you keep will distract you from God. You need friends that's going to say, hey, friend, we need to go to church. Or hey, friend, we need to go to Bible study on Wednesday. Or hey, friend, have you been in your word? Hey, friend, I've been noticing you ain't really been, in your word like you used to be, or you know what I'm saying? You need a friend, or you need somebody that's going to tap in with you. And if you're not surrounding yourself with people like that, it's very easy to get distracted and stay distracted. Okay. So I want to encourage you to focus on things that are sustainable for adulthood, right? That's focusing on your health. Focusing, like I said, and I'm going to keep saying, on good habits. Focusing on the company that you keep. You know what I'm saying? Just being cautious. You got to be cautious. When you're younger, you just taught to just crash out and just do whatever. And I'm here to tell you, I done crashed out several times. And looking back on that, it's like, girl, if you only knew that was just literally a setup for the enemy, right? That was just a setup for you to just be knocked off your square. You know what I'm saying? So I want to encourage you to stay locked in. And it's so easy to be distracted. I get it. I know you want to hang with your friends. You want to party. You want to kick it. You want to do the things that everybody else is doing. But I promise you, if you do the things that everybody else is doing, you're going to be left where everyone else is at. Right? Once you make the decision to say, you know what, I'm not going to go to the club. I'm going to go to the gym instead. Or I'm going to eat healthy. I'm going to drink water. Or I'm going to have a mocktail. I'm not going to have a cocktail. It's just those simple changes that you make in your life that will set you up for success, because everything else 9 times out of 10 will pull you away from your purpose, or pull you away from God, or pull you away from what's best for you, So I've been talking a lot about watching the company that you keep and the importance of choosing the right people in your life, whether that's your friends or your partners. But we're going to talk about friendship first, because in my 20s, I learned the true meaning of sisterhood. I learned the difference between an associate and a sister, right? And I understand now more than ever that the friends that you choose to have in your life should solely be based off of core values, right? Are these people loyal? Are these people trustworthy? Are these people goal oriented? Are these people going to guide you to the Lord? Or do they have a relationship with God? You know what I'm saying? You have to surround yourself with people based off of core values, because the world will have you thinking that you should base your friendship off an aesthetic. If you base your friendship off of off aesthetics, I'm telling you, it will probably not end well. Every friendship that I made based off an aesthetic, based off of things that are not core values, ended. Period. Some ended all right, some just fell off. Some ended very badly. And it's simply because if you do not align yourself with people who are on the same type of time that you are on, you will end up being distracted. You will end up being led to the wrong thing, into the wrong thing. I'm telling you, I base my friendship off of these core principles. Are you loyal? Right? Are you trustworthy? Do you keep your word? Are you reliable? Right? Are you a villager? Right? Do you show up for people? Are you supportive? Do you clap for me? These are the things that matter. All that, is she cute? Is she fly? Can we travel? Does she get money like I get money? Those things do not matter, because when things hit the fan, because as you grow older, life be lifing. You need to have sisters around you that are going to carry you, that are going to uplift you, right? We need community, but we got to have good community. Not people that are around you just because of a look, because looks change. Things change, right? When your friends meet you up, are they going to be the same friends that are with you when you down? When you fall off or when you fall short, are these going to be the friends that lift you up and bring you back and remind you of who you are? I'm telling you, your village, your community, it matters. The people in your community matter, right? You can't just have anybody around you if you're trying to go to the top. Now, if you want to stay stagnant, if you want to stay distracted, right? If you want to stay out of alignment, you could choose to be around whoever you want to be around. But I'm telling you, the best decision that I made is to start surrounding myself with people who are connected and aligned solely off of core values. I no longer make friends based off of a look. It has to be organic. It has to be genuine. You have to be goal oriented. You got to be somebody that inspires me, because I know that I inspire the people that are around me. You know what I'm saying? And the people that I have around me right now all inspire me, right? And so if you look back on friendships, let's just say you're older than 30 or you're 30 and you're listening to this right now. Ask yourself, the friendships that ended, did they end because they just fell off, or did they end because the person? So I want you to ask yourself, right? Am I friends with people? So I want you to ask yourself, are my friends based off of core values, or are they my friends based off an aesthetic? If you have friends based off an aesthetic, I'm here to tell you that, one, it's okay, because I made that decision as well. But you just want to be cautious. You just want to be aware. You don't want to just have anybody around you, right? It's cool to link up with people who, look like they lived a similar lifestyle. But are these going to be the same people that's going to be with you when things hit the fan? I need real villagers. And that leads me to my next point. To have a village, you have to be a villager, right? If you want people around you, supporting you, uplifting you, you need to be around them, supporting them, lifting them up. I'm telling you, I have learned the true definition of a villager in my late 20s when things hit the fan. When you're younger, you don't really have too many responsibilities. You don't really have too much going on. Some people do, right? But for the most part, when you're younger, you just live in La Vida Loca. You know what I'm saying? Now, I need my friends to show up for me. I need my friends to pour into me, because guess what? I'm going to return that same favor. Support is one of my love languages, and I'm telling you, in order to have a village, you have to be a supportive person. You have to show up for people. You might not be able to make everything, but you want to make your presence known. And one thing about me, I'm going to make my presence known. My friends are going to feel me. My friend got something coming up. I'm showing up if I can. And if I can't, I'm letting them know in advance, right? Or I'm making it up to them. Or if my friend is doing something big and I know that she really is excited about that thing, I'm clapping for her. I'm rooting for her. I'm sending words of encouragement. You know what I'm saying? Those things matter, and I've learned now more than ever that you have to inconvenience yourself in order to have a village. If you want to have people around you, it's not going to always be convenient for you to show up. It's going to be moments when you feel like, dang, I do not want to link up with this person, or I'm tired, or work got me stressed. My kids got me stressed. My partner, my job, like all life could be tugging at you. And that doesn't mean you have to show up to every single thing. But I'm telling you, in order to have people to show up for you, you have to show up for other people. If you want people that are going to clap for you around you, you need to be clapping for other people, regardless if you're up or you down. And especially when you down. Don't be that friend. Don't be that person that can't clap for other people because you are not doing it big and you not living it up. Be able to clap for people on your worst days. Be able to clap for people when you don't have much going on. You know what I'm saying? Because I literally just saw this post and it said that nothing in nature blooms in every season, right? And so you're going to have moments where you're not feeling your best, but it is important to communicate that if you are. And I've learned that. And it is important to still show up and still clap, even when you don't feel like it, even when you're not feeling it within yourself, you know? And so I realize more than ever how much community is so important. I think the world will have you thinking like, oh, I can do everything by myself, especially if you're an older sister, especially if you are Miss Independent, you have to hold things down by yourself. You're not used to relying on other people. But I'm telling you, once you get you a good village, a good solid village, it will change your life, you know? And now I feel like I've cultivated a village like no other. Right? I got friends that will pull up on me in a snowstorm, in a blizzard. Do you understand me? Like, that is such a blessing. So many people can't say that they have that. But the reason why people show up for me is because I show up for them. The reason why people clap for me is because I clap for them. You got to make it your duty. You got to literally prioritize your friendships, especially as you're older. Because if you don't prioritize your friendships, 9 times out of 10, they're going to fall off. As you get older, your calendar is probably flooded, but linking up with your friends have to be put on that calendar. Like now, I hit up my friends, or my friends hit me up and they say, hey, at the end of the month, this is what we're doing. Or in a couple weeks, let's do this. If you do not do that, you probably will never see your friends. You know, because life is hard. You have moments where you just don't feel like it. You might be going through your own thing. You know what I'm saying? And it's hard to link up with people. You live in your life. Some people have kids. Some people are in relationships. Some people are married. And so it could be challenging, you know, linking up with your friends and connecting with your friends. But you literally have to add it to the calendar if you want to have a village, you know. And if you don't want to have a village, so be it. But you might be living a lonely life, and that's not fun. You know, I used to be somebody that thought like, oh, I don't need too many people. I don't need too many friends. And don't get me wrong, you don't need a whole bunch of people, because a friend to all is a friend to none. But let me tell you something. Having a village is so it just makes you feel so good. It makes you feel so seen, you know. And everybody can show up in their own way. You know what I'm saying? I got some friends that I call and I know they're going to pump me up. I got some friends that I know that's not going to miss a moment. You know what I'm saying? Like, everybody serves a different purpose in your life. But it's important to cultivate a community, a village that is like-minded. So that way you guys can just have a fruitful friendship and sisterhood, you know? And that even ties into relationships. You know, when I was younger, I don't think that I really care as much about the core values as I do now. And my number one core value in a relationship is that man a God-fearing man? Because if the man is not being led by the Lord, where is he going to lead you? To hell. Okay? And there have been so many relationships in my past where I was like, this man is leading me to hell. This man is distracting me. This man is literally pulling me away from my purpose. This man is pulling me away from God. And we have to take accountability. Everything doesn't fall in the hands of someone else, right? You got to take ownership of the people that you choose to be in your life. But I'm telling you, it is so important to choose the right partner. I don't care what age you are. You need to ask yourself, will I bring this man around my grandma? Can I bring this man to church? Not can I bring this man? Can he bring me to church, right? Can we pray together? Does he have good habits, right? You want your partner to mirror you or be better, so that way they can inspire you and motivate you and push you. You know, and I feel like the biggest mistake that I made when I was younger, I was choosing guys that I knew did not have good habits. I knew I don't want to say I was better than them, because I'm not better than anybody, but I literally knew that this person is not bringing me up. My mom used to always tell me, Jay, you got to date an older guy. You got to date somebody that's older than you because you are ahead of the program. I've always been wise for my age. And I think a lot of that has to do with me being the oldest in the house and stuff like that. And me being a business owner. Man, let me tell y'all. I was a manager at every job I had. Like, I've always had that leadership energy. And so I have to be with a leader if I'm a leader. I got to be with a go-getter if I'm a go-getter. I can't be with a bum. You know what I'm saying? And don't get me wrong. Sometimes people fall on hardships, especially when you're younger. You know, people are still trying to find their way, and women mature faster than men. But let me tell you something. You need to make sure the core values are there, right? What are their habits? Your partner is a reflection of you, right? If somebody see you and your partner together, are they saying, I don't know how he got her? Literally, I done been in too many situations where the talk was, I don't know how he got her. And it's not that these people were just trash, terrible people. It was just the fact that, like, I was very goal oriented. Like, I've always been this way. You know, I've been a younger version of this. Like, y'all get what I'm saying? Like, I'm wiser now, but I've always been goal oriented. I've always been driven. Like, this isn't something that just came about, you know? And so I just want to encourage you listening right now to make sure you're watching the company that you keep, whether it's your friends or your partner, because the people that you talk to all day, if you hang with 6 ducks, you the 7th duck. Okay. If you hang with 6 crash outs, you're the 7th crash out. I'm sorry. So that brings me to my last point. And this last point is so important. Okay. When you're in pain, be mindful of what you run to. I'm going to say that again. When you're in pain, when you're not doing well, when you're feeling low, when you're not feeling like your best self, do not run to bad things for relief. Okay? Don't drink the pain away. Don't social media the pain away. Don't sex the pain away. You got to run to the Lord. I'm telling you, when I look back over my life, God was the only thing that pulled me out. Right? I might have had the support system. I might have had somebody to encourage me. I might have encouraged myself, but I'm telling you, it was nothing like getting in that word. It was nothing like praying to God, because I'm telling you, once you allow God to take control, once you let him in, you know what I'm saying? He will pull you through. He will get you through. Not the substances, not the sex, not the partners, not bouncing relationship from relationship. You got to allow God to work in your life. You know what I'm saying? Literally, they always say, if you don't feel God near, he ain't leave, you left, right? And so whenever you feel like, man, I'm in such a tough place, I am going through so much right now, I'm telling you, God pulled me through every bad season of my life. God pulled me through every breakup. God pulled me through every bad moment. Anytime I felt low, anytime I wasn't sure, anytime I needed clarity, God gave me just that. You know what I'm saying? God is on your side. Jesus loves you. I'm telling you, pour into God. That's all I can say. You know what I'm saying? Because I would not be who I am if I did not have the relationship that I have with God. My life is a true testimony of God working in my life. I cannot take credit for this. Yes, I've always been ambitious and goal-oriented, and you could be all those things. But I'm telling you, none of this would be possible if it was not for the Lord. I don't care if you don't even have the relationship with God that you want. I'm telling you, none of the great things that are happening in your life happen for no reason. It happened because of God, you know? And next, I want to say that community is so important. I'm going to be talking about community a lot. I actually put community on my vision board this year because I'm learning now that I need to get out of my own way and I need to become a villager, right? And I've been working on this village for a little minute, but I'm just saying, like, in my late 20s, I realized that community is so freaking important. And as I grow older, I'm learning more and more, like, I want community, but it got to be the right community. It got to be aligned community. And luckily, I'm able to cultivate my own community, and God has allowed me to connect with people that I didn't even expect that I would connect with, and so on and so forth. But I'm telling you guys, lean on your community. Lean on the Lord. And another thing that's going to help you when you in pain or when you depressed or when you sad or when you upset, when you going through heartbreak, structure is going to keep you safe, right? If you do not have a routine, if you do not have a game plan, if you do not know what you're going to do with your day before the day gets started, I'm telling you, the day is going to carry you and you're not going to be carrying the day. The one thing that keeps me from having seasonal depression, the one thing that keeps me from being sad and down and out is my routine. Every day I have something to look forward to, right? And one of the main things I do is movement. I move my body every day, whether I go on a walk, whether I do a 10-minute walk, whether I go to the gym, whether I take a Pilates class. I'm telling you, having that routine, having that structure, knowing this is what I'm going to eat today, knowing I went to the grocery store so I ain't got to wing it when I finish working, or I don't have to wing it when I'm out and about. I got the snacks on deck. You know what I'm saying? I got my calendar. I'm writing down what I'm doing for the month, for the week. Having something to look forward to will save your life. Having something to look forward to will really bring you a sense of joy. It's like, okay, I might not have nothing going on at the top of the week, but I'm going to work hard at the top of this week because I know at the end of this week, I'm linking up with my homegirl, or I'm studying for this, or I'm going to join a new club, or I'm going to do a new workout. Like, I'm telling you, my routine is something that literally transformed my entire life. My routine is so goated. Like, when I tell y'all, I eat the same thing every day. I go to the gym. I move my body every day. And I don't really make room for the enemy to come in. Like, of course, the enemy still try to do his thing. But for the most part, I'm on the move. I'm on the go. I'm focused. I'm locked in. I'm disciplined. And I'm telling you, that discipline and being locked in on that routine and having some structure in your life will literally keep you away from all the crap, all the negativity, right? Negativity can't even touch me because I'm moving so fast. I'm on the go. I'm moving. I'm working. I'm disciplined. I got stuff to look forward to. You know what I'm saying? I got stuff on the calendar that I'm working towards, that I'm working for. You feel what I'm saying? And so, yeah, you guys, these obviously are this is obviously just a few gems that I learned in my 20s. And if you guys want me to do a part 2, I would love to do that, because I was thinking I can only put so much in one episode, you know, and I don't like to make my episodes really long because I know some of you guys like the short form, you know what I'm saying? And so in closing, I just want to say that number 1, keep God first. Number 2, make sure you build an aligned community. Number 3, if you want to have a village, you got to be a villager. Number 4, watch the company that you keep. Number 5, make sure you have a routine. Your routine will keep you away from all the BS. You know what I'm saying? And like I said, if you guys want me to drop another episode about things that I learned in my 20s, I would love to. I literally could do a freaking part 10 to this because there's so many things that I learned. But I wanted to talk about the most important things, and I wanted to talk about the things that can really help somebody. And I wanted to talk about the things that will help you lock in, the things that help me stay locked in. And yeah, I feel like this episode will really help somebody. And I feel like this episode would inspire somebody. So if you enjoyed this episode, be sure to like, comment, subscribe, do all the things. Tell a friend to tell a friend about the And Now I Know podcast. And so as you guys know, I always wrap up each episode with the And Now I Know segment. And now I know that life is not as short as we think it is, right? Time is not on your side. You're going to look up, poof, and you're going to be 30, you know, like me, or older. And it's just like, man, you got to do the thing. Like, you got to lock in with God so that way you can start living according to his plan and purpose for your life, you know? And I feel like I'm really walking in that, which is why I'm able to talk about it, and I'm able to share the things that I've learned. And like I said, I hope you guys enjoyed this episode. Don't forget to comment, like, and subscribe. Tell a friend to tell a friend, and I will see you guys next time. Mwah.